this is the place I need to be. It's a place that I could grow.
There's not many times your best two leaders, one on offense and one defense, just happen to be from the same house.
Paris Johnson, he's a total and complete monster on the field. He won't stop until he dominates you completely.
I feel like in this game, like, you have to have that, internally, that, like, willpower to want to just dominate.
Paris Johnson, he's a total and complete monster on the field. He won't stop until he dominates you completely.
Buckeyes on offense. Got two All-American preseason tackles. Paris Johnson Jr. on the left.
Sometimes I'm blocking next to him and I see him flying across the field for the next guy. Then he gets up and he flies across the field for the other guy. I feel that there's a switch he flips on game days especially. From the first snap to the end, he'll go as hard as he can. And so seeing that out of him, seeing his effort just inspires everybody else to go even harder.
You're getting a one in and you're being independent with it. If you lose it, then come back with it, but don't be a long arm guy. Does that make sense? Here we go. Set. Square. Hands. Now.
Paris came in as one of the top-rated tackles in the entire country.
Don't stop your feet. Don't stop your feet, right?
He decided that he would be willing to go to guard in order to get on the field. And I think that says a lot about who he is. Most guys would say, no, I'm a tackle. I'm just going to stay a tackle. Although maybe he wasn't the perfect style to play guard in terms of his build and his length, he went in there and he did great and he learned. And he knew after that year he was going to be in better position to move out to left tackle, which that was the plan for him all along.
Now! That's better. Good. Stay body on body.
Playing guard, I'm like, wow, it's different mentally. You don't have all that space. You're not going against a guy on the edge who's fast. I'm in a box with a guy who's probably like 350 on the other side, and now I got to protect this guy to the right of me and the center. You know what I mean? So there's a lot more responsibilities. I feel like it taught me a lot.
It's a different animal from inside to outside. Blocking interior guys that may be a little thicker, a little more heavy-handed, versus moving out to the perimeter where you're in space and you're solo a lot of the time. He understands he's a gifted athlete, but he still wants the tools and the techniques to make sure that he's not just relying on getting by because he's going to out-athlete someone in space. He wants to out-fundamental them. He wants to out-technique them. He wants to out-scheme them by knowing what they're going to do before they do.
There you go. That's it. Good.
He's just getting comfortable and adjusting to being sometimes solo in space and still being physical. He's just a very driven young man.
How you feeling, my boy?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, baby. I'm trying to get this dub. I'm starting the trenches all day.
I believe you are who you surround yourself with.
He's sacked. The sack from Jacoby Windmon.
I look at it like an art.
Windmon again.
The first step is get past the pass blocker.
Hit and sacked. Windmon again.
The second step is get the quarterback.
Number 4's got 4 sacks.
To have that 4-sack game, the first game of the season, it was shocking just because he was only playing that position for a week before the season.
We had guys, banged up. Coach Tuck was talking about me probably having to play the end. So it was one of those things like, man, I'm going to just go out there and play my heart out. I grew up in the city of New Orleans. In high school, I went to a John Ehret High School in Marrero, Louisiana. That's where I met Coach Brandon Jordan, defensive line assistant coach.
Jacoby was a wide receiver and a backup quarterback and a tight end. I used to see Jacoby walk around the field like, man, that's a good-looking body right there, somebody that could look like a play D lineman. He'll come over there and hit the pop-up bag and act like he pass rusher. I said, man, that's the position for you right there.
My junior year, I was like a defensive player. I was playing outside linebacker.
A few
years ago, last year, I was unseen. But you just gotta wait till your time. When your time comes, when your number calls, you gotta make a play.
I got a couple scholarships coming out of high school. Then I chose UNLV.
He balled out. Ended up being all-conference honorable mention. He'll send me some film. Coach B, what this look like? What I need to work on? What move I need to add to my arsenal while I'm out here if I could get better? Jacoby called me right after the season, was like, man, BT, I think I'm on a transfer.
I just think, that was something that I needed to do because I wanted to challenge myself and I wanted to see, what's my limits to the game of football.
I said, man, send me your films. So he sent all his film and I made a chop up for him so he could send to coaches, and I posted it on my Twitter page, and it kind of got a lot of hits.
Michigan State came into the picture about 2-3 days into my recruiting process.
He went on a visit, and when he came back, he said he loved it.
This is the place I need to be. This is a place that I can grow.
Come on, baby. Time to work.
The moment Coach B walked in this building, he bought the trust and attention of everybody in the room. And that was just that was the start of what he is building here at Illinois.
He expected our best every single weekend. This year it's just a little bit different. We're getting everybody involved. We're running the ball efficiently. We're staying ahead of the chains, and that's the biggest difference from last year.
Here we go.
With Coach B's staff, it's just a real direction that you have. Like, we know we're gonna run the football. Coach B always say, good teams run the football.
I hear an old D coordinator in my background, Bill Brazier, always used to say, if they throw for 300, you have a chance. If they run for 300, you'll never win. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. For me, as a guy that's been around a lot of great running backs, we've inherited a great one here. Chase Brown was here before we got here.
First down, touchdown, Chase Brown.
Running backs fall into a couple different categories. Maybe it's a speed guy.
Look, it's number 2 again, Chase Brown.
Maybe it's a jitterbug guy.
Look at that move.
Or maybe it's a power guy.
Pushing himself into the end zone.
And Chase really has the ability to have all three. And that's a very unique skill set for a running back.
People see him and think he's a small back. No, he's just short. Physically, he's built like a tank. He works so hard. Sometimes you see him after practice, he's right back in the weight room.
At Wisconsin, going into the locker room at halftime, hadn't had really his marquee big run or any of his little bit breakaways. I said, just stay true to who you are.
I think the biggest run going into half was 17 yards, and coming out, I knew one was gonna pop, and eventually it did.
Chase Brown is off to the races, and Brown is gone for 6.
Coach B sat me down before the season. He said if I wanted to be the best running back in the country, that was gonna be up to me. I just want to be able to look back on this year and be proud of this campaign I put together.
Chase, he's a kid driven on success and he understands the value of that. But I think he'd be also the first to tell you if it allows us to win more games, that's what he's going to be all about. He really truly is a team competitor. That's not a common thinking way of a running back. I think it comes from having a twin brother.
Sidney Brown is my twin brother. Growing up playing outside the park, just being kids and just, going through so many things together. And he's my go-to guy if I need to talk about anything. We grew up in London, Ontario, Canada. It's about 2 hours west of Toronto. Grew up there with my mom and my nan, who kind of held it together there for my brother and I. Football was always something that we could go to. It was always something we were naturally good at.
Turning 16, we had an opportunity to go to Bradenton, Florida. We went to St. Stephen's Episcopal. The difference in culture was the first thing that I noticed, especially how serious they take sports in the United States. It was always our goal to play at the same school and, kind of go through college together, but then that kind of split. Chase wanted to be a pilot for some reason, and he kind of took that on to Western Michigan, and I had an opportunity to actually come to Illinois.
Brown able to bounce
Wants it outside again. Another 15-yard run here by Chase Brown.
It was difficult not being together for like the first few months. He would tell me, hey, if I were to transfer, like what do the coaches think? And I'm like, I don't know. So I would just kind of brought it up at the time and just threw it up in the air. Hey, Chase is going to transfer. And I think the coaching staff here at the time really liked Chase.
I just saw how happy he was, and I wanted that. And when Illinois called, it was a no-brainer for me.
It was like, okay, this is what we should have done straight out of high school. My mind and his mind was like, okay, let's help this program win. When you first got here, it was like, you're trying to prove something, I'm trying to prove something, but I think it goes back to high school where you and I used to compete all the time. And I know we don't go against each other now, but dude, I'm telling you that you got that switch. I don't know what it is when it's just you and I on the field. It's like something to prove.
I think you just have like I don't want to say short temper, but like
me?
Yeah, I think out of all people, I can like flick the switch on you real quick.
Do you remember COVID being in the garage?
Working out? Oh God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we spent like our whole stipend check on gym equipment.
Spent too much money.
I know. It pushed me because I know there were some days I did not want to work out at all. And then I heard, you start blasting music in the garage. I'm like, damn, I better get up there before, he gets too far in the workout.
There's not many times your best two leaders, one on offense and one defense, just happen to be from the same house, from the same mom and dad. They're both kind of different in temperament, but both in the same way that they kind of approach things. So it's two of the Big Ten's best.
Good. Chop, get off. Violent shoulders, violent shoulders. Violent shoulders to finish it. Ready? Go. Good. Go, stab lift. Good right there. Go, finish it. Good, good. Break a rip, though. Break a rip, break a rip.
I used to have a lot of college coaches follow me on Twitter.
There you go, right there.
So I kind of use my Twitter as a tool to help guys get recruited. If you look on my phone now, I got 40,000 videos on my phone. Last year, I worked with over 200 NFL D linemen. Got a call from Coach Tucker this past spring after the bowl game, asked if I was interested in coaching college ball. I said, yeah, man, that's why I started training. Coach Tucker talked about, I want you to hire you as a pass rush specialist. You'll probably be the first pass rush specialist in college football.
There ain't no alert rock back right here. So if you see a puller, you know it's gonna be a guard right there. So I'm gonna chase down that blind and go boxing.
I didn't know what Coach Jordan wanted to do, but I just know, once I committed, I got that call from him.
And he just told me all great things about Coach Tucker and the program. So once I came here, I was excited.
Good, Kobe. Now rip, now rip. Good, good. Stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up. You just gotta keep your feet underneath your body. Your feet got kind of too close, you know what I'm saying? You gotta attack that outside number.
I was happy for him because I know how far we both came.
We both from the railroad, from John Eric. Now we here at Michigan State getting ready to play in the Big Ten. Especially being here together, it's surreal.
Good, yes sir. Good work, Darren. Good work, folks. Way to communicate. Way to communicate.
It can be frightening when this offense is clicking.
We do have talent.
They've put on a clinic. Ryan Day and Stroud and the receivers and the running backs. My gosh.
We want to be known for having toughness, having skill, having discipline. And I think our guys understood that and embraced it. It's for everybody in the team, but if we want to get to where we need to be, the offense and defensive line have got to be the tip of the spear when it comes to our physicality.
It's finally here. The Irish and the Buckeyes in Columbus.
We're in the trenches, whether you put on the offensive line or the defensive line. I feel like that's the foundation of the game.
As offensive line unit, the toughness starts with us. The tone is set when the ball is snapped.
That fourth quarter drive versus Notre Dame, I feel like that's something that we've been practicing every day out here during camp. Spring ball.
And the body blow is really beginning to take a toll on this Irish defense.
We've put ourselves in situations like that, so we knew that we had that in us, but what good is that if it doesn't show?
Williams fights to the goal line and crosses it.
14 play, 95-yard drive and taking over 7 minutes off the clock.
In that fourth quarter, you can start to see what we're talking about.
Physical Ohio State team scores a touchdown in the third and a touchdown in the fourth quarters to erase a halftime deficit.
The word toughness and just that mantra of toughness, you have to make it a tangible thing because everyone can talk about it. Everybody lifts in the offseason, everyone runs sprints, everyone is put in practice situations. And so you build that confidence, but it's not really there until the kids feel it. What we mean by that is showing up. It's a critical situation, whether it's for offensive line play, it's a 3rd and short, and everyone knows you're running the ball and you have to move your man to get the first down. Is it 3rd and long when everyone knows you're throwing the ball and you protect and give a pocket to the quarterback? That's what it means to show toughness. And that's rent to do every day. Right? You can't do that once and then, put a badge on and say, well, I'm tough now. That's something you have to live every day.
Ohio State offense pounding away on the ground.
We've shown that we can do it. Now we have to continue to make that part of who we are.
All right. What's up, Mom?
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Thought we'd call and say what's up. What's going on?
Is that the
Nan, what's up? How you doing?
We're just finishing dinner, so.
Oh, I can't tell. How you got the apron on and stuff?
Yeah.
There's so much love for everybody. And my mom's hilarious, and my nan's hilarious. My sister's just insane. Is Maya there? Where's Maya? Yeah.
She went into the bathroom. She did it herself.
Oh.
It's Crayola scissors.
Oh. It looks good.
Yeah, no.
How?
My family support has been another reason why, I work so hard and why I want to take this game as far as I can because I want to do it for them.
All right, Ma.
All right,
Man,
guys,
I love you. Love you too. Bye. Love you.
That's hilarious. COVID limited a lot of people from going home.
It was really like a year and a half, 2 years we weren't able to see my mom. She's got some health issues that she deals with, which keeps her in Canada a lot of the time, but whenever she can come and make a game, I know it means a lot to both my brother and I. The last game that my mom came to was September 2019.
And then just at the end of the 2021 season, I had heard that she was gonna try to make the trip, and then she called me the night before and said she just couldn't do it. I just kind of put it aside. I'm like, I was used to it at that point, but it would have been nice to have her there.
We talk a lot in this program about family and what it means, so when I found out she was coming and she wanted to surprise him, I thought I could help facilitate this a little better, and that's when I went up to him and said, hey, we're gonna have a camera follow you guys just about interaction with a fan.
It's a game in late November, it's cold. The last person I think I'm gonna see is my mom at the end of the line I walk.
What? No way. No way.
My heart dropped, I felt sick to my stomach, and the tears started coming out of me. It's like I couldn't control it. From London, Ontario to Champaign, Illinois is about 7.5 hours. She left at like 3:30 in the morning to get to our 11 o'clock game, and she drove through the night.
Because of those special things, those special relationships, especially when you're trying to do something here at Illinois that hasn't been done before, you have to pull on those emotional strings that kind of help them propel past the adversity of the past.
The Journey Big Ten Football 2022 is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Let's go, man. Let's go, man. Let's go, Bucks! 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 Let's go, Bucks!
Good afternoon, everybody from Spartan Stadium.
The Buckeyes have won 6 in a row over the Spartans. They've won 8 in a row here in East Lansing. But Michigan State has been a thorn in the side of some very good Ohio State teams.
This unit goes win the game today. You understand that? All you gotta do is go be you. 60 minutes of being you. Wear them out, wear them down. Start the second pass. Here we go. Right up, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right.
The sun out. It's windy, a little chilly, but Ohio State in a position to try and see if they can get road win number 1.
If Michigan State can hold on to the ball and cause turnovers and make C.J. Stroud uncomfortable in the pocket, he will not like it, George. And if he doesn't like it, good things can happen for the Spartans.
2nd and 13. Ohio State is at 19 of Michigan State. Stroud gets the snap. He lofts it down the left sideline. Marvin Harrison caught in the end zone. And a touchdown signal given on the TD pass of 19 yards. C.J. Stroud to Marvin Harrison Jr.
Pretty deep in their own territory here. Now to try to get off the field.
Picked off by Charles Brantley. He's at the 10, he's at the 5, he's into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. How about that? Young Charles Brantley has tied the score with a pick 6.
It'll work for the Buckeyes here. 3rd and 5. Game tied at 7. Caught by Ibuka at the 50. Right side of the Spartan 30. Emeka Ibuka to the 20, to the 10, and to the house. And the Buckeyes have reclaimed the lead. Stroud's going to look to pass. Fires down the middle of the field, going for Fleming. Got him to the 15 of the Spartans. Left side to the 10, to the 5, and he drags the defender into the end zone with him for a touchdown.
What can you say about C.J. Stroud? Unbelievable.
C.J. Stroud will gun that up the right side. Caught Harrison, 10-yard line. Middle of the field, fire to the end zone for a score. And Ohio State's lead is now 34-13 over Michigan State.
Spartan played him relatively tough. That last touchdown drive was a killer, though.
Michigan State hanging with them there for a while. That one hurt.
Stroud gets the ball, looks to throw. He's going to look left, lofted left toward the goal line. Caught by Harrison and out of bounds. He goes near the pylon, but a touchdown signal given. And the Buckeyes lead is now 41-13.
That was incredible. How about this offense? That's a third 90-plus yard drive that they've had today.
4th and goal, Ohio State to the Spartan 2. Stroud with a snap. Takes the handoff, rolls to his right. Stroud at the 10 of the Spartan. Stroud floats it into the end zone. Caught for a touchdown by G. Scott. His first collegiate touchdown. G. Scott of Ohio State.
The offense just kept answering, didn't stop scoring.
Ryan Day sees Ohio State remain undefeated as the Buckeyes defeat Michigan State, and they do so by a final score of 49-20.